Hello, here's a playthrough video of my game Space Bounty 10 Targets 1 Hunter. Right now it's free. Planning on selling it for $3, just the price of a cup of coffee. I did put a lot of time and effort into it. But right now I appreciate you guys playing it and sending me some comments. And I am not opposed to tweaking it and just hearing what you guys think. I've been wanting a game like this for a long time. And finally, just looking at a lot of different things and adding my own ideas, I kind of came up with it. I like it because you can play it in small sessions, but still feel like it's like a campaign, like you're building towards something with a clear goal. So when you do get the game, it comes with 2 versions. It comes with a zine version. This is just one piece of cardstock paper, American size, 8.5 by 11. And you cut it a certain way where it turns into a booklet. That includes all the rules and instructions, your HUD, your map, everything you need. So you can just put it in your pocket with some dice and be good to go. Now, for the sake of this playthrough, I did print it on standard 8.5 by 11 paper in booklet form. I used the main sheet in cardstock so I can write and erase and such. So pull the rules off to the side and kind of get started. Now, I've already prepped the game some, because at the beginning of the game, you do start off with an adder ship. So I've got that written down. You start with a light laser, which is a D4. You get 3 stats, weapons, energy, and crew. You get a 0, a 1, and a 2. Through experience, have played and realize I need the higher number on my engines so I can move around without running out of fuel. You also get 5,000 credits. I've already spent 2,000 to get extra fuel. You can hold 2 fuel in a cargo bay. With your first ship, you get 3 bays. And I also bought armor plating, which I will explain a little bit later too. All right. Also at the start of the game, you create your galaxy. You would roll a D20 to place planets around the outer edge. I've already done that. I created a little key. You could do the same. If the planet has a ring around it, it's a planet with a market. That's where I can buy new ships, upgrades, get fuel and repair. The only other place you can get fuel and repair is a space station if you are able to land on that. So you have to roll a 6 when you're traveling, and you can build a space station, but it'll only do fuel and repairs. So I've already rolled for my planets. I start at planet 1, which is Gub, which is blue 03. So blue 03, I just draw a little up arrow. That's my spaceship. While at a planet with a market, you can go ahead and claim your first bounty. And my first bounty will be this guy right here, Rax Norga, reward of $5,000. So Rax Norga, I'll put that here. He's bounty number 10. His name is Rax. Reward of 5,000. He's got an adder ship, shields of 2, hull of 5. So just 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it were higher, then I can just shade it in to show how many shields he has or she has. Location. I've got to roll 2d6 to find the location. I roll a 1 and a 3. So my location map here, let me zoom in a little bit. 1, 3 is a green 3. So green 3, and I just put B for bounty. That's very nice that he's that close. And so I have B for bounty on my key. Okay. While I'm at a planet, I'm also gonna go ahead and see if I can get a mission, make a little extra coin. Roll for a mission, I need a D4 and a D8. Because there's 4 types of missions: delivery, sabotage, rescue, and small bounty. I roll a 1 and an 8. All right, 1-8. Pick up, so I would roll a d6 to find out what planet. So pick up from certain planet and then take the goods, whatever it may be, use your imagination, and deliver it to another planet. It requires 6 cargo, progress of 8, but your reward is 10,000. Now my little adder ship only has cargo of 3, so I can't accept this mission. For the sake of the game, I'm gonna pretend that I rolled, let's see here. Yeah, let's do this. Rescue a pilot on a certain planet. So I'll roll. It'll be planet 5. Okay. So cargo of 1, progress of 2, reward of 4,000. All right. So I'm gonna say I've got mission 3-1. It was on planet 5. So planet 5 is green 04, which is right here. So this is mission 3-1. So M3-1. And takes up 1 cargo once I rescue him. Or actually, I'm bringing goods to him to rescue him. So this is, I'm gonna put mission 3-1 and a reward of $4,000, and I get 1 loot, and progress is only 2. If my progress were 4, I would just draw a line right here to create 4 sections. If it were 6, then I just draw another one where I have 6 pieces. And then I would roll on my mission progress area to see if I'm able to complete that. And I will show you that later. This one's just 2. All right, so it works out well. I've got my bounty close and my first mission is close. So I've bought some stuff with my 5,000, some extra fuel, some armor. I've got my first bounty and my first mission. It is now time to travel. All right, so to travel, I need 2 D10s and a D6. I wish I had bigger dice. I do at home, but I'm not at home. All right, engines, I get to add a 2 to my D6, which makes that 6. That's an 8, and this is a 9. I failed. I'm below both of them, so I have to roll on the travel mishap. Travel mishap, I roll a D10. And I roll a 2. Engine trouble, lose 1 engine. Ouch. And I have 2, I'm now at 1. I only have 1 extra stat to add to that. Oh, and I did use a fuel when I rolled that. So no movement, I lost the fuel and an engine. All right, I'm gonna erase another fuel to do another travel roll. All right, get to add 1, so that's a 6, that's a 2, and a 4. All right, mine is higher than both of them. I get to move up to 3. So I'm gonna move here first, there's 1, but I'm actually gonna engage with that, so it would be stopping there. Even if I didn't engage, or if I do engage, I still have to roll on my travel table because this is considered an empty space. Besides, that's where I know my bounty is. So D8, I roll a 1. I get to create an asteroid belt. Since it's my first one, it will be known as the belt, which will be pretty important later in the game for certain missions. They'll refer to the belt, and that'll be your first asteroid belt. So I'm gonna write in parentheses here, the belt, and then just draw me some dots for some asteroids. All right, so we got that taken care of. Now I am going to try to take up my bounty. My bounty is in an adder ship, so 2 shields, 2 hull, and if he attacks me, this is what I roll, a D10, and based on what I roll determines what happens to me. I always get first attack. So I've got 2 shields, 5 hull. He's got 2 shields, 5 hull. All right, and now I'm gonna attack. My weapons are a 1, so I have a 6, a 4, and a 2. All right. If I had 2 weapons or more with a strong roll, I can roll up to 2. So if I had a heavy laser, that could be a D6 or a D8. If I had rockets, they could be that. So I could attack with 2 weapons. I can't attack with the same weapon twice. So that's unfortunate. So I only get 1 roll with a D4. And I got a 3. So I take out both his shields and 1 of his hull. Both shields, 1 of his hull. And then roll again. I get to add a 1 to that. So I have a 2 against an 8 and a 7. I lost. Well, it looks like he's attacking me. So I'm gonna roll a D10. And I roll a 2, so he attacks me with a D4. All right, and I roll a 2. That'll take out my 2 shields. Okay. I get to add a 1, so I have a 7 against a 7 and a 6. All right, get to attack him with the D4. I roll a 3. So I'll take out his 2 shields. Oh, I already got his 2 shields. 2 shields, and I got his whole 1, and I get to add 3 more. 1, 2, 3. All right. I get to add a 1, it's a 5 against a 10 and a 10. I lost. Roll a D4 for him. A D10, I'm sorry. I roll a 7. He gets a D4 plus 2 damage. A D4. It's a 4 plus 6 damage. Both of my shields are taken out. Now, I can use my armor. Roll a D6. And anything I roll, it absorbs that 4 that I get hit with. No, I get hit with 6. He's gonna hit me with 6. So I'm gonna roll this. If I roll a 1, my armor is damaged. No, it's not, it's destroyed. If I had a level 2 or 3, every time I roll a 1, it drops 1, it degrades 1. Once I roll a 1 and I'm at level 1, it's gone, no longer. But I'm gonna roll it. I rolled a 5, so I can absorb 5 of that, so I get hit with 1. That saved me. That saved me quite a bit. All right, I need 1 more hit on him. Okay, oops, wrong die. A 5, which is a 6. No, it was a 5, I promise. Against a 1 and a 2. All right, I get to roll a D4. It's a 3. I take him out. All right, so I get 5,000 credits. So that takes me up to 6. And I got my first bounty, so I can clear all this out. My shields are restored. I still have 1 hull damage though. 5,000 credits. I'm gonna go to my bounty page of my booklet, kind of cross him out. And I got my 6,000 credits, got my first bounty. All right, that worked out pretty good. Now, I'm gonna erase the bounty there, and I'm gonna roll to see if I can get to this mission. Okay, add 1, it's 4 against a 2 and a 6. So yes, I can move here. I don't have to roll for a travel encounter because it has a planet. So now I'm here, I can get fuel upgrades. Oh, mentioning fuel, I have to use a fuel for that roll. So just marked it down right here. So I got my fuel. All right, I think I'm gonna try the mission first and then do some shopping. So the mission, right here, the mission action. I roll to make progress. This progress was 2. And I'm going to see if I can get that accomplished. So crew, I have none, so it's a 1 against the 6 and a 2. I have to roll on the mishap table. This could not be bad. This could be bad. A 2, encounter security droids. Crew members killed, reduce crew by 1. Well, I have no crew, so I don't get hit. Okay. 4, 6, and a 1. All right, I get to do 1 progress. All right, roll again. 4, 4, and a 5. All right, 1 more progress. All right, so I've completed it. I get 4,000, and I get to roll on the loot table ones. So that takes me to 10,000. I can erase that. Mission complete. I like to kind of keep track of my missions. So that was 3-1. So I'll just kind of cross out 3-1. And I do get to roll on the loot table. So a D12, D20, I'm sorry. And I roll a 14. Extra crew bay, extra cabin bay for crew. All right, so I'm gonna shade in this. It's a free extra bay, only for crew though. I can't put any gas there, any fuel. All right, 10,000. I'm gonna get some upgrades. Definitely gonna get a heavy laser so I can roll a D6, or D8 I mean, try to do some damage. So 5,000 for that, heavy laser. Heavy laser, a D8. That was 5,000. All right, I've got 5,000 more. Gonna use 3 to get fuel. So 1, 2, 3. That leaves me with 2,000. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and repair my hull. There's another 1,000. So I've got 1. All right. I am at a planet, but it's not a planet. I've completed the mission. It's not a planet with a market, so I can't get a new bounty or a new mission yet. Okay. So I'm gonna try to go towards a planet so I can get a bounty and a mission, make some money. So we're gonna travel. I'm gonna erase 1 fuel. And travel. I do have 1 engine, so I can add a 1 to that. That's a 5 against the 6 and an 8. There's a... All right, so I just rolled a travel mishap. So I gotta roll a D10. And I roll a 5. 5, you encounter 2 adder ships. Mentioning ships, I did beat my first bounty, so I do get 1 experience point. Every 10 experience points gives me an extra stat in either weapons, engine, or crew. Choice is mine. So I did take out 1 ship. So where I am at, I have to take on 2 adder ships. Okay, so I'm gonna write adder times 2. Adders are just 2 and 5 with the D4. 2 and 5 with the D4. Okay. So this would be my current enemy. 2 shields, 5 hull. And I do get 1 in the weapons. 7 against 7 and 5. All right, I get to roll a D4 and a D8. So a 4 and an 8. Let's hope we can make this quick. A 3 and a 3, so 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just need 1 more hit on him. All right. A 2, add a 1. That's a 3 and a 6 or a 9. I get to roll. I'm going to roll my D8 because I can only roll 1 weapon. I roll a 7. All right, that destroys 1 ship. Okay, so there's 1 more experience. And I get to roll on the loot table. And that was a 3. I get 3 direct rockets. I can store them and maybe sell them. I did complete that mission, so I do have a pod open, and I can sell them for half price because I don't have a bay open. So direct rockets times 3. Yeah, maybe make a little coin doing that. All right, still have 1 more adder ship. Okay, I roll a 1, so 1's 2. Hey, I get to roll 1 die. I'll roll my D8 for my heavy laser, and a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Took them out in 1 hit. I like the combat fairly quickly. If they hit you, they can do some damage too sometimes. So that's a 2nd ship, so a total of 3. I also get to roll on the loot table for him or her a 20, 5,000, and a reroll, and 14. Extra cargo bay or cabin bay. Yeah, I already have it, so if you get the same thing or you can't use it, you lose it. But I do get 5,000. Okay, so that takes me to 6,000, and I did take out those 2 adders. All right, let's try to get to that planet again. All right, so I do get to add 1 to my engines. So we got a 3 against a 3 and a 2. I can move 3 spaces. So I'm gonna go here first. And I have to roll on the travel table, D8. And I roll a 3. So fight 2 adder ships, all right? Adder times 2. Okay. Let me look. So I showed you the progress. All right, so we covered missions in progress, the lasers. If you did have rockets, you put it here, and then the most you can have in each bay or slot would be 3. And as you use them, you can, mark them out. If you're attacking and you've got combat, you can actually, if you have strong, you can use all your weapons or rockets. If you roll 1 weapon or a rocket, you can use a rocket, but it's -2, or you can just roll for 1 weapon. If you fail, then of course the enemy, you take their damage. If you're being attacked, or you're in that attack roll where you have 2 adder ships and you have very weak hull, you could choose to evade and roll to see what happens, and there's your outcome there. Armor plating, I think I showed that, rolling a D6, and then your integrity. If there's any other questions, feel free to just make a comment. Hopefully that will explain it pretty well. Have fun, enjoy, thank you very much.